my first year in my company, I sold $1 million. You know,
What?
yeah, I know. My first
Really?
year, yeah, yeah,
How do you pull that up? You were a good salesperson then.
yeah. I mean, well, I hit a thing that women struggled with, and they got frustrated because they can't find the product that fits them, you know?
Welcome to the Break Free podcast. I am your host, David Mancilla. We dedicate this channel to honor the people that are making this world a better place through their organizations as leaders. And today we have with us a wonderful example of that, Carrie Charlik. Welcome to the show.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Hey, it's a pleasure to have you here, and I cannot wait to tell your story because you have a beautiful, beautiful entrepreneurial story. Carrie, for the audience, can you tell me where do you live, your full
I'm
name, and what do you do for a living?
okay. I'm Carrie Charlik. I am the owner and founder of Essential Bodywear, and I started it 20 years ago. And I started it here in the basement of my home in West Bloomfield, Michigan. Now it's not in my home anymore. My office is now in my home, but we have a warehouse in Commerce Township, Michigan, which is just right outside of Metro Detroit.
Beautiful. Now, I'm sure you're familiar with the statistics that says most businesses fail within 2 years, and
Yes.
right, and the
Yes.
ones that make it to 10 years are like unicorns.
Mm-hmm.
And here you are, 20 years strong. And
Exactly.
that's not easy to do. My business I've been in business for 17 years, and it hasn't been easy for sure. So let's go back in time, Carrie, and let's see what happened with your life and how did you actually get this beautiful opportunity to create your own business. So let's go back. I want to go back into a time machine that takes you to your last year of high school. Where were you then, and what was in your mind?
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. So if you look back at high school, what I said I wanted to be was I wanted to be like a VP of a clothing company called Esprit. Like I remember this vividly. I was always really amazed with Esprit clothing, which for those of you who are in their 50s, they probably do remember Esprit. I think they're still around, but they had the coolest marketing, the coolest mail order catalogs. It was Their marketing just blew me away. I'm just like, oh my gosh, I was in love with their concept, their story, like what they were doing and stuff like that. And they were based out of San Francisco, California. Never knew I'd go into
So,
lingerie, but I always wanted to be in
so
the apparel industry.
that's wonderful. So since you were a kid, did you end up going to university, or you went right into a job?
I did. I went to Ferris State, which is a small school in Michigan. It's in the upper part of the lower half of Michigan. It's north of Grand Rapids, a rather small school. And I went into fashion merchandising and marketing.
That's wonderful. Fashion merchandising and marketing. You're one of these rare examples where you actually knew what you wanted. I know you ended up being like into the company you wanted to work for, but you actually ended up in the same industry, right?
Correct. It's just the stuff that goes underneath your apparel, the foundations
Yes,
of your wardrobe, not the wardrobe, but the foundations.
the
The most
foundations, which is
important
just
part.
as important.
It's actually the most important part, but yes.
That's wonderful. So what happened after university? What did you do?
After I finished school, I moved to Ann Arbor, Michigan, where I got a job for a department store called Jacobson's, which is kind of like a Nordstrom's. It was a family-owned business here in Michigan, and they had department stores all over Michigan, Indiana, Florida. I can't really remember, but that's where I met my husband in Ann Arbor, Michigan. He was finishing up at the University of Michigan, and we ended up getting married shortly after that, like within a couple of years when we first met. So he was finishing up at the university. I ended up getting a really good job for Color Book Paper Products, which is out of Dexter, Michigan, which is working for a manufacturer. So I actually got to be on the manufacturing side of the gift industry, which was really amazing. I got a great start there from the co-founder, Bill Taylor. He is amazing. And by the way, he helped me a lot with Essential Bodywear when I got it up and going. And he was just a great mentor for me. I mean, I learned so much from him and what he did and built at Color Book. And then after that, I got a job as a buyer for a large chain of stores called Mr. Bulky's Treats and Gifts. And gosh, I think we had a couple hundred stores all over the United States. And so then all of a sudden I was on the manufacturing side. Then I went to the buying side. So then I was doing the purchasing for all the stores. And Sid Rubin was my boss there. He was the owner and founder of Mr. Bulky's. By the way, he also helped me in the launch of Essential Bodywear. It's amazing how you build relationships. I feel like all of us are somehow or another in a relationship business. And I feel like relationships are probably one of the most important things you can do. And you keep those people close to you. And those two gentlemen have helped me out, and just have been there by my side cheering me on, which is really amazing to have those kind of mentors in your life who they too have built very successful businesses and went on to do great things. So, yeah.
So when did you get this itch of becoming your own boss and starting up your own business? Because you mentioned that you had these great jobs and great mentors, and I know that running a business is not just for everybody, right? Like the people that go into business for the wrong reasons, they end up going bankrupt because they were not meant to be in business. They were meant to be working as an employee.
It's hard work and it's long hours, and sometimes it's frustrating, but also there's points that are really rewarding. And, after I went to work for Mr. Bulky's, then I also I went on to be a manufacturer sales rep. So I went into being a sales rep in the wholesale market. So I got the sales experience. So I've had a lot of everything kind of built me up to where I needed to be at. Does that make sense?
And because you went to manufacturing, you went to purchasing, and now you're doing sales. You know what? My brother has a chain of stores in Ontario, Canada, and he told me, I make my money in the buying, not on the selling.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so important, right?
It is. There's so many, everything is so important, from learning the manufacturing aspect to how to buy, how to purchase, how to plan. I had this on Do Not Disturb. Why did that do that? I apologize.
No worries.
I literally had it on Do Not Disturb. So anyways, back to what I'm saying. I feel like everything lines you up to where you're going to be at. Does that make sense? Like it kind of lines you up. So then I went into sales, and then all of a sudden I got pregnant with my first child, and I had Alex. And then after that I had Matthew. And then I just decided to stay home at that point and be the stay-at-home mom. And then I decided I wanted to do something after the birth of my third child, Katie. And so I started being a manufacturer's rep. I'm sure you've heard of that position before, where I was selling for a manufacturer doing his expos around the country, where I only had to work. It was a great job. Let me tell you, it was a great job because I only had to work like 6 to 8 weekends a year. And I made commission on everything I sold at those shows. And I had follow-up when I was done. So the job wasn't over, but I had follow-up when I was done. But that's actually where I got the idea to start Essential Bodywear. I was at a really big expo in Anaheim, California, and I was watching the women walk by. And it was supposed to be a really busy show. You know how they build up an expo of this is going to be a great show. This is where you're going to land all kinds of sales. And I'm watching the women walk by. They had their hair done, their nails done. Everything looked perfect on them. They had, back then, 20 years ago, Kate Spade was all the rage. So they had these cute little Kate Spade bags. They had cute shoes on. Everything was done. And I noticed that they had poor foundations on. And as a woman that has always had a larger chest, I always knew the importance of having really good foundations because they can make or break an outfit. And I remember watching the women walk by, and I'm like, wow, they just don't know. That's what I'm literally thinking. I'm like, they just don't know how important these foundations are. And so then the concept of Essential Bodywear came that night at dinner with my girlfriend. And I said, I'm coming back next year and I'm selling bras and thongs, and I'm going to educate women on the importance of their foundations. Mm-hmm. And so that was 2003. And within a couple months, I found a manufacturer that was willing to sell me some goods. And it was also owned by women too. And they took a chance on me, and I flew out to San Francisco, met with them. got that up and going. And then I clearly realized that we had to have a spectrum of sizes because women come in all different shapes and sizes. And if you're larger busted, or even if you're smaller busted, sometimes it's really hard to find a bra that fits. So you get really frustrated. I know I did, because when I was younger, everybody was buying their bras at Victoria's Secret, and I could never fit into their bras. I was very small around, but very large chested, and they just didn't have my sizes. So I had to go to a department store, Jacobson's, the one I bought. That's the one I used to work for, and get a good quality bra to give me support and what I needed to look good in my clothing. So I came back from that show and I said, I'm selling bras. And I literally, the concept of Essential Bodywear was born after that event, and started it with $500.
That's amazing. So just look at this, right? You get this great job that allows you to be with your kids where they will live. You will still making good income.
Yes.
And then by doing that job, you get this inspirational idea about a problem that everybody has that you could actually notice because you were in a place where large amounts of people walk by, as it is in a conference, right? Or in a trade show.
Yep.
Wow. Now, then you go to San Francisco, get the manufacturer, and you say, what did you say to yourself? I'm going to open up my own business, start selling these things?
Yeah, I did. And I didn't have a brick and mortar.
And you had $500.
Yeah, $500. And
how do you pull that off?
I bought some samples. I just bought some samples from her, and I started selling them. And I realized that I had to make this really work. I had to do my own manufacturing. So that took me a couple of years. That took me almost 2.5 years to find a manufacturer that would actually make my product. And again, this is where my old ties back to my old job. I went back to Bill Taylor and said, hey, I want to go into manufacturing. I don't know anything about manufacturing, like how to find a factory and stuff like that. He met with me several times to kind of help me, guide me through that. And we ended up finding a factory that would take, because a lot of the factories, they want 4,000 pieces per size. And I'm like,
at least, yeah,
I don't have that kind of money. And I mean, my first year in my company, I sold $1 million.
What?
Yeah, I know. My
really?
First year, yeah.
How do you pull that up? You were a good salesperson then.
Yeah, I mean, well, I hit a thing that women struggled with, and they got frustrated because they can't find the product that fits them, So my first year I sold $1 million. And then, then it quickly jumped up to like $3 million a year, and then 4, and then 6, and it continued to grow. And then of course, then we hit the 2008, 2009, economy drop, but I still was doing well, but not as great as I was doing, but I had to find a manufacturer that would also take a chance on me. And I found a female manufacturer that would take a chance on me, and she did. And you had to make an order of 4,000 pieces in total, where other companies were telling me, oh yeah, it's, you got to have a couple thousand pieces per size. And I'm like, I can't manufacture like that, So going through the manufacturing process, finding a factory. We've used a couple different factories. I've been very loyal to one of the first factories I worked with because it's woman owned, and we have a really super close bond, and I worship her, she's been through me where like a bank as a woman in business, literally the bank, when I went to go get a loan, asked me what my husband thought of what I was doing and what my husband was living. And that's so crazy. For that woman who owned the factory to take a chance on me and be like, I'll be your bank. I will do this for you because I believe in you. And still, gosh, 16, 17 years later, she still believes in me. Do you know what I mean? So I'm very grateful for everything that I've had. Yeah.
It's these blessings that we get from God, and we don't even know when you're fulfilling your God-given destiny. What you're telling me is just crazy. For me to get to $1 million a year in business took at least 5 to 7 years, something like that. It was crazy. I could never break the mark. I will get to like 800,000, 900,000, and I could never make it to $1 million. Now, profit-wise, I was always doing well, because I know how to run businesses.
Mhm.
But it's like, what that frustration, once I passed the $1 million mark, everything got a lot easier, right?
Yeah.
But it wasn't easy. And here you are saying that you started with $500, and in your first year you made $1 million. So let's decompose that, because there's gotta be a lot of wisdom in there. What was your approach? You got your samples. What did you do next? Like, what was in your mind?
This is so crazy. So back then, I was always invited to home parties. I was a stay-at-home mom, so I was invited to candle parties and Tupperware parties and Pampered Chef parties and all that kind of stuff. So I started doing bra parties, and I started hosting and doing bra parties where I would come in and do fittings, and I would have 10 to 20 women at a time. So I didn't have a brick and mortar. I was still doing it out of the basement of my home. And so I was going around, women were having cocktails, and I was fitting them with bras. And, I would do this fun little trick on them where it's not a trick, but it's a good visual. I'd put stickers on them where their breasts were at, and then they would come out and they would see the difference. And they first would come out and go, "Oh, I lost the stickers. I don't know what happened to the stickers that," and I'm like, "Oh no, they're still there. They're just 4 inches down. You can't see them anymore."
Wow.
Because the lift that the bra gave them, they literally couldn't. Do you know what I mean? They couldn't see the stickers anymore because they fell down below their breast tissue. And I'm like, no, they're still there. And so while they're all having cocktails, everybody's like, "I want one of those," because they would see the makeover, just kind of like that Harry and Sally movie, Harry and Sally, that movie, where she was in the restaurant and that one lady goes, "I'll have what she's having." That's how the reaction was with the women. Like, I want that, they would literally be like, "I'm next." And it just got really exciting, to see the makeovers, because, and it's not like some, where we can do the side by sides and show the difference, and there's no weight loss. It just literally is changing the bra. With the right foundations, you can look longer and leaner. And,
right.
I like to say, look 18 again, because your breasts are back up where they were at when you were 18.
Right.
As life, I know you're guys, so as life changes, a woman's body changes, and our breast tissue changes. You go through breastfeeding, you go through pregnancies, you go through weight loss, you go through menopause, you go through weight gain, you go through ups and downs. Your body changes. And so you have to get remeasured, and you have to get measured and fit. And people, and I meet so many women that just go through Target and buy a bra, or go through Kohl's and buy a bra, and they're buying the wrong size because they don't know their body has changed. But by putting them in the right bra, they look amazing. And then the ladies, get this, the ladies would go to work, then after they got their bra, after I'd ship them their bra and stuff like that, they would go to work and people would be like, "Did you get a haircut? Did you lose weight? What? There's something different about you." And the ladies were like, "Oh my gosh, it's the bra. It's the bra." And literally they would call me and go, "Okay, so I have 6 friends at the office that all want to get a new bra," So the word of mouth is what I'm trying to get, just blew up. It was incredible. It was just like, everybody was like, "I want to do that. I want one of those." Because most women struggle with their bra. Most women do.
So in order to reach that amount of sales, and like, you kept going with house parties, or you started doing distribution, or you went wholesale? What
I literally kept doing house parties. My first year, my friend and I, who started the business with me, we were probably busy every day of the week, almost every day of the week, doing a party at someone's house, even on Thanksgiving Day, that first year. I mean, it was just, the demand was absolutely insane. So then all of a sudden we realized that we can't do it ourselves. So then we started asking people to help us, start selling the bras for us. So we brought in distributors, and then they started selling, and we trained them how to do the bras and stuff like that. So then we quickly just kind of grew around the country. And before I started doing my own manufacturing, that was in 2006. And in 2005, the bra that we were selling at the time went on Oprah, and is her favorite thing. And that was 2.5 years into the business that
That must have like skyrocketed your sales for sure.
It did. And then that manufacturer that I was buying from, the one I told you about, that I was buying from the beginning, had all of our sales reps listed on their website, and everybody's business just kind of blew up. So that was the end of 2005. And then I went, and I'll be honest, I had no inventory for over a year. I'm like, and I had sales reps that wanted to sell, but they had nothing to sell. And I couldn't get, when you're manufacturing overseas, you can't get the stuff in fast enough. And that's when I really ramped up the production of us going direct to the manufacturer and getting our own factory, doing that. And so we had already been planning to do that. And then that just kind of escalated it. Like, no, we can't depend on somebody else. We got to do it ourselves. And anybody in manufacturing thinks I'm crazy when I say it takes 6 months just to get a reorder from bras, because bras have 17 different components that go into it. It's not like, an earring. It's not like a blouse. You know what I mean? It has an underwire. It has a hook and eye. It has a stay. It has different, the pipe, the casing that holds the underwire in. It has 17 different components, at least 17 different components that go into it just to manufacture, that they have to order, coordinate, and everything to get at the factory to start sewing the product. And so it takes a long time. So manufacturing isn't as calling the factory and going, I need to place an order and I need it next week. No. It literally is, the hooks and eyes come from one location. The stays come from another. The slides come from another location. It's just this whole thing of coordinating it. So we learned a lot during that time. And then we made it through that time. And we were very happy. And then 2008, the gas prices went up. I don't know if you remember that whole, I'm sure you do. I know you're in Canada, right?
Oh, yeah.
And so the economy just tanked. And we were doing probably at the time 30 to 40% growth at the time. We were really growing fast. And then all of a sudden we slowed down to a 10% growth. And my husband,
but still we're growing though.
Yes, yes, exactly.
A lot of businesses went bankrupt that year. And the year after.
And my husband works for the automotive industry, and he was so mad at me when I was complaining about our 10% growth. And he's like, you need to be quiet, because like what you just said, he goes, there's companies that are closing up left and right and that are tanking right now, and you are still growing. You need to appreciate that. And I was just like, oh, he's right. I got to appreciate this. And what we found out during difficult times, if a woman can buy a bra and feel pretty and feel excited, she's going to spend the money on the bra. Lingerie sales stay pretty consistent. Do you know what I mean? Even during downtimes in the economy, we still can hold our own, because think about it, a woman can't really go without a bra, Yeah. And if you give a woman a really good bra, she's hooked for life. We have very loyal customers, super loyal customers. We have had husbands, not just once. We've had many that have accidentally put their wife's bra in the dryer. And we don't offer overnight shipping. We just don't. We just have regular ground shipping on our website. We don't offer overnight. And he called us and he was begging us to overnight a bra because he was in the doghouse. He goes, you don't understand. I'm in the doghouse. I put the bra in the dryer, and a bra ruins the dryer. The heat will break down the fibers in the bra and will ruin it. And he's like, you don't understand. I'm really in a lot of trouble. You have to overnight it. So we've had husbands even get it. That's what I guess I'm trying to say. Like, husbands get how important that bra is for her, to have a good bra. Wow.
Mm-hmm. That's amazing. So how fast have you grown in the years now? Like how big are you guys now?
Well, I'm gonna tell you, we went into the pandemic having our best year ever, 2019. And then we quickly, because remember, all of our stuff is in person,
Right.
We do big events. And all the events got canceled. Those expos I was telling you about, they all got canceled. So we had to really rethink how we did our business, and we had to turn it to virtual. I'm proud to say that we did shrink during the pandemic. We did. And we haven't come back out of it yet, but we held our own and we came out. And this year I've added in where I'm getting into a whole different kind of industry, which is corporate events, which is being a experience at a corporate event. So,
Wow.
yeah. So like
That's great.
So now I'm getting into the experiential marketing, which is offering people an experience, because most women get frustrated with bra shopping and they give up and they don't want to do it. But we come on site and we offer the bra fittings, and at conferences, incentive trips, we've been gifting, people have gifted us. We did an event that was a team building event in Santa Barbara, California. And it was last year we got into it doing it last year. So it was our first event. And the team building event was they had to do trapeze jumping. Okay, so she had her whole team, because everybody been remote, right, through the last couple of years. So she's like, I'm doing a team building event, getting everybody back together, all my employees, which are mostly women, and we're going to do this event in Santa Barbara. It's going to be a retreat. It's going to be team building, and they do trapeze jumping. First of all, I'm afraid of heights, like deathly afraid of heights. So I'm just like, and then she had some extra spend. So she hired us to come in and she gifted every woman there a bra and a panty, which is great. And then we had one of our fit stylists there on site, and she fit and measured everybody. So after the event's over, the lady who owns the company called my meeting planner and said, I didn't really think anything about the bra experience. Like I thought, okay, yep, they're going to enjoy that gift. She goes, after the event, I got on a Zoom call with everybody, thought we'd do a recap of the weekend. Oh my God, did you get your bra? Oh my God, I got my bra. Oh my God, it's the best bra ever. They didn't bring up the trapeze jumping. What did they bring up? That's all amazing. They talked about was their bra.
That's great.
It's crazy. I did an event this year. It was a large event for 750 mechanics. And they bring their wives to this event. And you think about a mechanic, it's all individual businesses. There's, what I'm talking about. There's mechanics in every city. And their wife is usually the person who does their books, their marketing, all that stuff, right? Well, they do this big annual conference where it's more of an education kind of thing. And they invited us in because they're like, Carrie, we never have anything for the wives. We just don't have we don't have a budget for them. We don't have anything. We know they're really important. So they had us come in and we set up for 2 days down in Puerto Rico and fit those women. And they had an experience that was theirs. Do you know what I mean?
Beautiful.
And it was amazing. One of the guys came up to me the next day as we're packing up and leaving. He goes, can I hug you? And I'm like, yeah, sure. And so he hugs me. He goes, I just have to say thank you. I have my wife back. He goes, you made her feel beautiful.
Wow.
You literally, she can't stop talking about the way you made her feel. And I hadn't even shipped her the bra yet. All I did was fit and measure her, put her in the right size bra, because we were shipping the product after the event, right? And I'm like, when he hugged me and told me that, I'm like, that's why I do what I do. Because like you said earlier in the podcast, being in business is tough. It's not for the lighthearted. But I'll tell you what, when I get out and I get to be with people and I hear that, I'm like, that's why I do what I do. Do you know what I mean?
And that's why you're successful, because you're putting your heart into it and you care about the person who's receiving your product. You care about the person. You know that it's going to make them feel better. You're going to regain their self-esteem in some cases. And that's why these people come back to you, because once they have one, they're going to be repeat customers. Now you have your website, you can distribute to your website. And so basically every time you do an event, you're actually doing marketing for the rest of your life. It's a wonderful business model. Because I was thinking, how can you have a multi-million-dollar business with house parties? And I'm like, of course it makes sense, because the house party is one marketing event that feeds you for the rest of your life, because your product is so good and because your heart is into it. Right?
Yeah. And so we're growing it. We're not just house parties anymore. I mean, we are growing it to being more events and experiential.
Yeah.
and really making a difference. And I've been out on the road with my business development operations manager, and we're just so excited to see people get excited about our product. And, as a CEO, you can sit behind your desk all day long, but you need to be out there and see what people are saying. And you hear it, and it just re-energizes you.
It's crazy that you say that, because I have been blessed with a beautiful entrepreneurial life. Now I'm running 7 different businesses through the power of delegation, but my main business still software development. So we make applications, we make technology for companies to grow their profits regardless of their industry. But because I have so many businesses running at the same time, I only dedicate enough time to each one of them to make sure they're running self-managing companies. However, the main business, I still put some effort in it, and but not like I used to do before. Like before, I would be with the client. I will do the architectural work. Like I would pamper the client myself. And now, with so many people in the business, other people does that job. But this year we closed a large project. It was, a large client, over $1 million just for one client in this project. So I asked the director of operations and marketing, like all those guys, put together a meeting with this client, and I want to see how it went. And I haven't done that like in 2-3 years. So we get together, I get to meet all the people that worked in the meeting from the client side, and they just talked wonders about us. I mean, they could have really bashed my team. Like they could have really said the truth, because I'm there listening and asking them, how can we be better? And when I started hearing all these wonderful things, like my heart just got big, saying, this is why I'm still in this business. This is why I still wake up in the morning and say, guys, let's go do it again. Because we're making a positive impact in somebody else's life.
Exactly.
Isn't that beautiful?
It is. Like I had a call today, 2 calls today. One with a guy who does all the meetings and events for a car dealership, one of the big 3 car dealerships. He's like, I want to have you next year in July when I do my dealership, meeting. He goes, they bring their wives. He goes, I'll have something for you. I'm like, that's so cool. I have a call tomorrow with a group that has 950 people coming to Chicago in February, and we're doing an event for them. I just am booking an event in Canada where I'm doing 4,500 dental hygienists, where I'm going to come in and be the experience. So just taking what I do and just kind of expanding on that, and just really, there's so many different opportunities out there. You just got to be willing, to have open eyes and be open to different ideas to market your product,
How have you dealt with competition? Have you had other companies trying to imitate what you do with a similar product?
Oh, there's tons of online stores, but I'll tell you what, they don't have our product. They do not have our product. Our product is just, it's our secret. It's our, we have this hashtag best bra ever. Every time I see somebody and they are wearing our bra, they literally will come up, they'll pull out their bra strap and they'll be like, I have it on, best bra ever, I was in Germany in the spring, and I had my logo shirt on, I had it on, I was at an event, and a lady came up to me in front of all these people at this trade show, whips open her side of her shirt to show me that she has our bra on. And she's like, that's the best bra ever. And of course, everybody that was with me at the expo, like, what? And I'm like, then I had to explain to him what I did, but it's funny. There is a lot of competition out there. There is, I'm not going to deny that. But a woman can't go get fit if she's large or chested. She's not going to be able to get fit at Victoria's Secret. They're not going to have something that's going to fit her. And we do sizes 30B to 44K. Wow.
So the whole spectrum.
Mm-hmm. Nobody's left behind with us. Nobody is. And I had, I bank with Chase Bank. I'm not doing a plug for Chase, but I've been with Chase for years. And my teller at Chase, every time I've come in, which isn't, I don't go out in often, but every once in a while we get checks. I have to go deposit them or whatever. And I'm in there and she's like, okay, I've been on your website, because, she just knows me. She sees my business name, kind of thing. And so I met her at the office yesterday. She brought, what did she buy? 3 bras, 2 camis. She's like, oh my gosh. And she was a 36G. And she goes, my daughter took me to Victoria's Secret and I left there crying. And I'm like, Victoria's Secret has its place. It does. It just doesn't fit every woman. And it's not meant for every woman. And we want every woman to leave with a smile. And years ago, I didn't know this, but I knew that if I put a woman in the right bra, she would leave there smiling. And then now there's this whole movement on social media, which is called body positivity. And it's being, positive about us and embrace that we're different, that we're not all, Christy Teigen or, Elle McPherson. I can't even think of all the new models now, but now you're starting to see models of all sizes. Back in our day, you had to be stick thin, no boobs, kind of thing. And you couldn't relate to see what you saw. And I think that's still where Victoria's Secret's at, is that image where if you look at us women, we come in all different shapes and sizes and we deserve good foundations. And so that's where we come into. And if you look at my catalog or my online, I use women that are not professional models. If you look at all of my images online, they do not have any modeling background at all. They are women just like us, everyday women. I finally had my first model over 70 last year. And I mean, I want to show everybody. I literally think people need to see themselves when they're looking at the marketing. I think that's also where I got excited about Esprit when I first told you about Esprit when I was in high school. I love that they showed all different colors, women, sizes. It was the first time I ever saw just a wide range of women in a marketing ad. So, but I didn't know it was called body positivity then. I just knew that if I put a woman in the right bra, she was smiling when she looked in the mirror. And that to me is priceless.
It's beautiful. Carrie, what has been the biggest problem in business and how do you come out of that?
I'm going to say COVID was rough. And I would say it was rough for so many things, but for me, it was our customers who we were so used to being in front of and all that other stuff. And we couldn't be in front of them. So the engagement of our customers, but we're getting back to it. It's taken us a lot longer to get back on our feet. I would say that. And then my other thing is, I'm trying to think of how to say this, but having the right finances. I've done everything on my own. I've never had an investor. And if I really want to grow this company, I probably need an investor. Do you know what I mean? Because remember, I started this with $500. And I mean, we've probably sold $60-some million worth of bras over the last 20 years, I'm guessing, but if I really want to grow this, get it back up to the numbers, probably having the right kind of investor to come in and really know that space of direct to consumer and, kind of building. I have a loyal customer. I just want to reach more people. I want more people wearing my product because once they wear our bra, they fall in love with it and they're like customers for life,
Yeah. And it's beautiful because you're doing it for the right reason. I mean, if an investor comes in and you have the right numbers and you already have the secret formula, it's just about putting in more gasoline to the engine to keep running faster. Yeah. Because I'm actually an angel investor myself, and that's what I look for, like established real businesses that are changing the world, and also they have already figured out the formula on how to distribute and sell, which is the hardest thing, which you have mastered because you have the best product. Right?
That's the thing that sets me apart from my competitors. Honestly, I just did a meeting with we had about 40 of our fit stylists that we got together. I decided to buy all my competition's products and bring them in, and I had them all try it on. I bought their sizes. It was like a big dress up party, and everybody was trying it on, and because you would see all these TikToks like, oh my gosh, if you're a 34 triple D, this is the best bra. And I'm like, so we decided to try them. No, we still have the best bra. I mean,
That's awesome.
some of those bras were like roller shades. Like they'd put them on and literally the band would start to roll up on them. I'm like,
wow.
Yeah. So I would say our product is really what sets us apart from our competition. We have a proven product that we have such a loyal customer to. And I just want more loyal customers, not to sound greedy, but I'm like, there isn't a company out there that says, oh no, I don't want any more customers. You know what I mean?
Like I said, you're doing it for the right reason. I mean, with this beautiful success over the years, I mean, I'm pretty sure you could just have retired and go play golf all day or drink margaritas by the beach, which I tried, by the way. I tried that and it didn't work. After a couple of weeks, you get crazy because you're in this world to add value. So if you stop adding value, you start getting depressed, right? Yeah. But in a positive way, right?
Yeah.
Carrie, can you believe it's been 45 minutes already? It's crazy.
Yeah.
I don't want to abuse your time. It's been such an amazing podcast. I'll ask you one last question.
Yeah.
If you had access to a billboard in front of the busiest highway on earth, what would you write in it?
Do you hate your bra?
That's beautiful. Probably your company URL, your company address, web address at the bottom.
Yeah, I would have do you hate your bra? Contact us. You know, I can guarantee, because that is one thing we do offer new customers. We offer them 30 days to wear the bra, fall in love with it, hate it, or whatever. I'm going to tell you, we barely get any returns. People fall in love with our product and they stay with it. I offer them 30 days. A brand new customer has 30 days to wear, wash, do whatever with the bra. And if they don't like it, they can send it back and we give them a refund. It's basically risk-free. And I literally, when I first announced it, my shipping department was like, oh my gosh, we're going to get, overwhelmed with returns. I check in with them every once in a while and I'm like, do we get a lot of those back? No, maybe like one or two. Like, wow. I mean, to me, I would say, do you hate your bra? Let's talk.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Carrie, thank you so much for being in the show. If people like to go and get fitted with you or find more about you, where can they find you online? Yeah,
it's actually essentialbodywear.com. essentialbodywear.com. We have a fit finder on there that they can answer some questions, and if that doesn't work, we can do a virtual fitting with them. That's the thing that did bring us some good over the COVID, is we learned how to do virtual fittings really well. So I have some great virtual fit stylists.
Wonderful. Carrie, thank you so much for your time. God bless you. And this is your home. Whenever you want to come back, we can sit down and have other amazing stories from your life.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Cheers.
Bye.
That's all for today's episode of the Break Free Podcast. Head on over to iTunes and subscribe to the show. Starting your own business can be tough, but it doesn't have to be. Visit davidmansilla.com to pick up a copy of the #1 international best-selling book, Breaking Out of Corporate Jail. Expand what you consider to be possible and reach your full potential. And join us on the next episode.